Peace, y'all. Yeah. Let me drop this link. Why you always laugh? But yeah, y'all, let me drop this link for Yanga because Yanga said he had some questions about Hinduism. But I don't even have all the pictures because if not, then I'ma just, I don't want to. I might have to switch the pictures around because it was so many gods and goddesses that he had a question about and he didn't even realize it because, like I said, it's over 330 million gods and goddesses in Hinduism. So because of that, um, it's kind of difficult to explain. That's why I say I'm gonna need Younger to hit the link because it's a lot of information. But the basis of the information is this is Lord Shiva. He is known as a destroyer in Hinduism. And hold on, let me see. Okay, he hit the link. Let me see. Yeah, hello? Like I say hello like you on the phone. What's up? Did I add you? Because I'm on my phone. Let me see. Did I add him? Yanga, can you hear me?
I can hear you. Wait a minute. And my
Maybe I
mic.
need to
Can
get
you
on
hear
my
me?
laptop.
No, no, you good. It's my. Can you hear me? I'm doing the most.
Yanga, we can't hear you. Hold on, let me take
You
down the
can't hear
battery
me?
because maybe you can't. You don't know if you're talking or not. Uh, come on, phone.
One,
Stop
two,
being slow.
one, two.
Okay,
You
we
like
hear
me?
you.
All right. I was
Huh?
like, man, if I go, I'm on my phone also. Peace, Shay.
Hold
What's
on,
up,
I'm
man?
trying to get
Glad you
my
fell
son
through.
together. He think he gonna eat sweets all day, so we getting on my nerves.
He handling. Boo.
Hold
You know
on.
those babies
Go ahead and
always
talk,
got
Yanga. I'm
demands.
sorry. Hold on.
Okay,
He just
man.
started
Peace,
this in his
everybody. What's up, man? Peace, everybody. Shouts out to GTO. I'm glad she went on and took on this challenge. She and I had a great conversation earlier this morning, Sunday morning, tripping out, flipping, making fun. I always like falling through to Gynocracy Takeover channel because it is just totally out of control, insane. It's a platform, and it's like no holds bars. I appreciate the restraint she shows over here on the arena because over there, I'd be like, uh, whew, man. So it's hot, man. Check out her
No,
shows. Check out her
that
free
was the
flow.
first time that was the first time he hit the link, and I didn't expect him. He from the beef sector, like you feel what I'm saying, and I understand a lot of these sectors. People of different spiritual faiths go there to do whatever,
Mm-hmm.
rebrand or get whatever money there. But I just didn't. I didn't even know he was a Christian or a Hebrew, whatever he was trying to
Yeah.
say. I
Nah, he was
didn't.
gonna come do his thing.
Yeah, and I was so amazed. I was sitting there letting him talk, but me, I try not to be mean to people. That's my biggest flaw in being
Mm-hmm.
a host. And I gotta remember that, like he was like, this is your show. But I was like, bro, you talking over people. I don't know if you want to talk for an hour about the Bible. I know everything you finna say. I just didn't want to
Mm-hmm.
discuss that. It was just boring.
I
Then my
mean,
number
it's. I
started
mean, See,
dropping.
my whole thing is, it's cool. It's risque. It's a risk to have spiritual shows and discuss that because of the variety of viewpoints and opinions that exist within our community. But are you coming? My whole thing was like, my guy, are you coming to proselytize? Are you coming to preach and convert us? Or are you open for genuine, sincere questionings?
Yeah,
That's
because
my
when
whole
he
thing.
said he didn't want to even read the Bible out loud and he was saying something about no
Right.
prayer,
But
I
you
was like,
sure want
yeah,
to
you
quote it out
tripping.
loud. You ain't reading it out
Yeah,
loud, but you sure want to quote it out loud. And he want to go for. I asked him a question. We got to go from. See what people like that. They have an agenda. He had his. He didn't wrote his paper. in that particular section of the Bible. He
Yeah,
was determined.
he got a
Real
whole
shit.
thesis and
Right, he
a
got a
paper
thesis. That's
essay.
right.
This nigga got an
He was
essay like he was
determined.
talking to a professor. I was like, my nigga, this
Right.
is an open panel. We chilling.
Man, come on. He was determined to steer the conversation to fit that particular. So any question I asked, it had to go back to that. It was like, well,
And
is
then I
this
tried to relate to him because I was like, I was talking to everybody because I was like, we don't say F God. It's not that serious. He took it to a whole nother level. And I was like, hold on, I don't deal with the Bible. You know that, Vic. Like, what are you doing? Like,
man,
like
man.
it's just really weird. But
Incredible.
yeah,
I loved it, man. Check that shit out. If you didn't have a chance to check it out, good laugh. What's my man's name? Shout him out. It's number love.
Vic
It's number
Simone,
love, little
the
bro.
army of Vic Simone. Shout out to him from the Beefs and Black Sector,
Indeed, man.
bringing
Indeed,
the
man.
mess, doxing
Yeah, hell
people.
yeah.
He report on a call of CPS. He don't really dox people though. Now, if you dox
Mhm.
yourself, then he might talk about it. I don't know, but for the
Yeah.
most part, Damien, what that juice at? That's his juice. Keep getting in my face. Oh, here you go.
Yeah, man.
Thank you.
Shouts out to my dude for following through, man, for providing some, some not just a good chuckle, not just a good giggle. You need your giggle every now and then, but for some, some interesting blood stimulating. I hadn't
Some
had the
controversy
opportunity
that
to
we
have
didn't expect to hear.
my coffee yet. Right. He got me started before my cup of coffee. I was like, shit, okay. This is how we starting Sunday morning. Right.
But what
Oh
question
man,
did you have? Because I'm gonna have to joggle the photos and eventually get on
okay.
my
Well, I
laptop
mean,
so I can search up.
let's build into a conversation, man. You know how we do. I just don't want to go because you got some claiming to do. Like I think if anybody is like me, the real first I ever heard of this, like you was trying to show me the sigil of the Om, right?
Oh, I showed you the sigil with the
Well, yeah, you
Damn
showed
it,
me
I
the
don't even.
sigil of the Om. So
Yeah.
I think for many of us, the Om, the first time I really got hip to that was in What's Love Got to Do with It with Angela Bassett. When Tina Turner was hitting the
What?
little thing saying Om.
Oh, I didn't even see the symbol in there. I didn't even realize.
No,
I know,
not the
cause
symbol. I'm talking about the sound. Is that the same thing?
yeah.
Is that a
It translates to a lot of Buddhist chants because like Buddhism is a sect of Buddhism that's connected to Hinduism, right? And they share a lot of the same deities in different forms and stuff like that. Because I'm still studying it, but whatever happened with their history over there, they had to
mm-hmm,
hide something like how Black people had to hide and hide the
mm-hmm.
spirits. I forgot how it went. Because that's a whole nother separate history or whatever. I'm gonna talk about that too. We're gonna do a part
Okay,
2 or something like that
okay.
because
So
it's what you were saying. Go
no,
ahead.
nothing. No.
No, go ahead, Yanga. Go ahead.
No, you were saying you were about to say something. I don't want to
I
miss a
wasn't gonna say
jewel.
shit. Go
Okay.
ahead.
So I'm trying to really understand because that seems to be a centerpiece in all this thing. Like you said, you got the Hindu Buddhist connection through the Om as a sigil in that emblem you showed up there, which I've seen everywhere. And if you can find that and throw that up, then the listeners will know what we're talking about. I never knew what it was. I knew it represented. To me, it was like I said, okay, that's their equal to like a crescent star or a cross and this and that. But what
Yeah,
is
I'm
the
gonna get
Om?
into it
What
because I'm ready to look up the Om symbol now and put it up, and then I'm gonna put up the Sri Yantra because that's another symbol that I wanted you to see with the 9 triangles and stuff like that because it represents all the gods and goddesses. You can actually start to visualize them as you do in your meditations. It's very deep. Um, That's why I said this shit is sacred and it'll make you like when you talk about the ashe, it will move your ashe, but most of these spirits is friendly, but you do have to look it up now. Like yeah, let me pull up the symbol. I'm ready to go to the studio now. Hold on.
okay.
You're gonna see
Okay.
2 of me in a second because I got hold on.
Man, y'all getting it, man. The arena. GTO bringing the science of it. Now I don't know how many places you gonna go and be. You damn sure it ain't going to me because here's how it ties into me. We need to put together a university. Shouts out to Gina May University, part of Moore Society, Maroon Society, not Moore Society. Moore's on my mind. The Maroon Society, which I'm a part of, our learning institution, Gina May University. Shouts out to the Bush Doctor, Shaka G. Jaga Shakur for putting that thing together, which does exactly what this is: collect the sciences, get an understanding of the various sciences from our perspective, a Black African and American perspective. Because, like someone told me, a sister told me one time, what really helped me to begin to start to see cultural influences in the institution of religion, the external institution and practices of religion, was when this sister, a Muslim sister, said, "Yeah, but y'all read the Quran from this, but I'm reading the Quran from I think she was like 30 some odd, 30-year-old Black African American woman, so da 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 da." So it let me know, excuse me, right then and there that how deep.
There we go.
There we
There
go.
we go. Yeah.
Influence. There we go. Yeah. Now break that down. I do see the elephant in that. Now
Yeah.
this is the Om.
Yeah, that's the symbol. You supposed to meditate with it. Like you can't meditate with it to manifest. Now I only did it one time because it was some date or whatever that was supposed to be like 11/11/11 or whatever. We was working with it. I was one day when I was in his coven. I left the coven because come and find out there was a secret sex trafficking ring. But
Wait a minute. Wait a minute. See, hold on. Let me get my pen and pad. You ain't gonna be able to run past all this shit you throwing out here. You need to throw that. We gotta investigate. First of all, what is a coven? You gonna have to go. Well, I'll
it's
just
like
keep
a group of
notes.
witches
I'm gonna
and
have
warlocks.
questions.
Like we
Right,
was
but you gotta remember. You gotta talk to us like you speaking to laymen, very beginners.
okay.
Because we
So
watch, we done watch Charmed and shit, and we done watch all kind of. So we have various views of what you're covering, some from horror to hilarious. So run down a coven to me.
it's a group of witches and warlocks, and we come together, meditate, we try to manifest together, protect one another and stuff like that. But this one was trash. I I actually had to do this one because I don't know about the sex trafficking ring part, but it's just weird. I have seen a lot of weird behavior from the person who ran it, but this is the first time I was basically introduced to a group of Black people who was interested in doing like Vedic chants and stuff like that. And so one of the things that I learned is about the symbol and how to meditate with it. And so I only did it like one time. I drew it myself and I just, did the meditation and it was very powerful. It was
Okay.
11/11 one. I think we supposed to do it like 1,111 times, something like that.
Wow.
So,
Wow.
yeah, I
Now,
mean,
what is this? Like, I see this, to me, it really is a nice calligraphy looking piece. It really is. And I've just been studying it. I mean, I can see tranquility in it, but what am I looking at? What
the
is
first
that?
sound of the universe is the representation of the first sound of the universe. Like it's a vibration, but the whole thing about is you can even look at certain like Native American chants. They do the because it's like it's also a representation of mind because they very serious about protecting the mother in Hinduism. And when you look at the goddess, a lot of times they'll say Jay, she, Ma, whatever, they'll call her mom, nature and stuff like that. So it's all connected, it's all the same thing. A lot of it is all about duality or whatever. It's deep metaphysical knowledge in Hinduism. You know what I'm saying?
Wow. Yeah, indeed.
That
Indeed.
should be
Now,
fine. Like what you was gonna say?
I was going to say, now, how involved in the history, like how much of the history of Hinduism do you have to know for this understanding of the science to be effective? Like, do I have to damn near be Indian historian or Hindi historian for me to really unlock the mysteries of this science, or is it? Can I have just a working? Is there such thing as a working level of knowledge to unlock the ashe or in the science, the mystery? The benefit, true benefit.
In my honest opinion,
Mm-hmm.
now the average black person that come into this knowledge that's so anxious to really connect with their heritage, and they see we know Indian people is racist, and we know about the
Mm-hmm.
caste system, and
Mm-hmm.
even in the Vedas they say some disgusting things about black people, right? There's one thing that you should be privy to is that doesn't even make any fucking sense, seeing how most of these gods and goddesses is black as fuck. Okay. And that you have to
Mm-hmm.
keep in mind that colorism and racism affected all parts of the globe just about. Okay. So we gotta get the fuck
Mm-hmm.
out of that. Okay. It affects
Mm-hmm.
Christianity. It even, you find what I'm saying? And while people,
Everything.
it affects everything. I don't want to
Mm-hmm.
hear none of this. Okay. At the end of the day, those spirits not going to harm you unless
Well.
you go too far and you don't know what the fuck you're doing. Like, cause Kali Ma, she's not to be played with. I'm not saying she's a
Mm-hmm.
demon. She's definitely friendly, but she will tear apart everything in your life just so she can build it back up. But she don't have much of a choice because she's the destroyer of the ego. Let me see where the picture of her I had it.
Peace, Shay, man. Thanks for following through, bro. Catch us
And
too
see,
next free time. There she go.
she see and you're right. She was. I forgot. She did beat the shit out of her husband before. You was right.
See, see, I knew it. I sense. I don't know nothing historically about. I sense that energy. I
It's so
said
many
she's a
pastimes with
dominatrix.
Kelly. Only pastime I know is because I do like working with her. Is I do know about that her chant clean, her and Krishna, because she, like I said, she reincarnated as Krishna's mother. Don't nobody know that.
Mm,
That's a secret
mm,
thing that a lot of, and you'll hear a Vedic debate on it because people really had a nerve to act like they scared of Kali Ma. I'm like, no, this is the protection of Kali Ma, the pact that they made in heaven. That's real shit. I looked everywhere for that, and it's even pictures of Kali Ma holding Krishna. I should have posted that, but yeah, that you can work with her through Krishna.
now, okay, okay, okay.
I'm
Because you
gonna
walking
post
us
the
through
picture of
it. You
Krishna.
walking us through it. Two questions I have.
Mm.
One's gonna be the difficult question, the arena question. We always got to ask that tough question because you acknowledge that there were certain writings. I don't know what you call Vedas. I don't know what you call them. I don't want to
Yeah, it's
misquote.
kind of like you would say like the Bible or the Quran.
Okay,
That's their
right, right.
scriptures.
And so
Mhm.
you were saying how colorism affected it, which I totally agree. But here's a tough question: how do you keep that? The fact that they have written colorism into the scriptures, the fact that they have intended to divert it. How do you keep that from affecting your the way that you focus and put your energy? How do you keep that from being an obstacle or hindrance, whether intentional or unintentional, psychic or unpsychic, culturally uncultural? How do you keep that from being a bias and having direct, pure focus? Would that be a taint to you?
Not to me because I understand that like outside of just what color they is, it don't really bother me because like I'm gonna be honest with you, I stopped going to the temple because I would see how they would act. And then on top of that, it's a man who brought the information of this deity here. That's Lord Vishnu. Him one of his
Mm.
reincarnations is Lord Krishna. I couldn't even fit all the overlays in the thing. That's why some of the pictures is, but his when he brought Krishna consciousness to
Mm.
the Americas, he actually have sermons or or talks or lectures, whatever the fuck you want to call it, about how black people should have stayed in slavery and it was best for when
Mm.
you go into the temple, they will get down on their knees and bow down to him like he's one of the deities. And then what you have to understand is at the end of the day, this is also a religion to a lot of them Indian people.
Mhm.
They don't look at it as the
Mhm.
esoteric version. They're ignorant as
Mhm.
fuck. A lot of you know what I'm saying? A lot of
I got
ignorant
you.
things come into that.
Mhm.
Like you know what I'm saying? Why are
Mhm.
you disrespecting the Dravidians on your own land? outcast
Right.
view when the Dravidian looks exactly like Kalima.
Mm-hmm.
But that's what y'all
Mm-hmm.
work. But that's what y'all worship. This is not. This is not like, oh, the secondary religion. No, this is the primary religion to y'all. You know, country, to India. So
Mm-hmm.
why y'all acting like that? You feel what I'm saying? I think it's just
Mm-hmm.
it's ignorance to a whole nother level that comes with the religious part of it. That's why they want to shout out
Absolutely.
Kali Ma. But I'm
Mm-hmm.
like,
Mm-hmm.
how do you get your fun in? Because Kali Ma and Krishna together, those chants will take you away from boredom. You find what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Om clean. And if you want the extra protection, you say Om clean Krishnaya Namaha. You know?
Mm-hmm.
That shit, those sounds, the mantras is the big part of it too. The mantras
Okay.
is the biggest part of it for me. And then when you look into certain devotees, when you talk to certain gurus, they'll tell you that because we are in the age of Kali Yuga, which is kind of like the end times or whatever. Like they believe in the end times, like the Jehovah's Witnesses. Like my mother be talking to me, I'm like, no, but they believe that we are in the mind of the monkey. That
Okay.
that we are in
You
the
say your
mind
mother
of
be
the
talking to you, be like,
monkey.
no. In the mind of what? I'm sorry. I'm sorry, God. For you were in the mind of what?
The mind of the monkey, which means like you know
Okay.
how
Okay.
monkeys get distracted and our attention span is shorter, and it shows through everything that's happening. Like I told you about that advertisement that was killing me about suing people about, I mean, pregnant women that was pregnant using Tylenol, and if they children got ADHD or
Yeah,
autism,
yeah,
they
yeah,
could
yeah. I remember that. I remember that. Now
his
I want to go because I'm sitting here looking, and I'm sorry, I don't want you to lose your train of thought, but I'm looking at now. This is who? Krishna
yeah. This is he reincarnated as Krishna. This is Lord Vishnu. Okay,
Vishnu. Now, what is his significance to
he
the
is the
whole thing? Is he the
protector.
Masonic? Is he the Masonic figure in the whole pantheon of
Yes,
deity?
he's
Is he
like
the
Krishna. Like his most popular reincarnation is Krishna, which is like
uh
sounds like Christ, and you know their story is similar,
okay,
but he came
okay.
before Christ. This
Now,
is
what's his
like
story?
his story is, well, he is the protector of the
Okay.
universe. He is the most Lord Vishnu is the most popular deity in Hinduism. He appears to be blue at sometimes, but at sometimes he can. But anyway, his skin is supposed to be dark, but they lighten his skin in the 1500s. He's really supposed to be pitch
Oh,
black.
oh, okay.
Um,
So instead of making them black, they're gonna make them blue. They
yeah,
wrong for
light
that.
blue. When the whole
Light
time
blue at
the
that.
scriptures
They
say
ain't even
he
make them
dark as
purple.
fuck. You know what I'm saying? His
Hmm.
name mean black or dark.
See, see.
The
Okay.
absolute
Go ahead.
abyss.
Yeah,
You know.
yeah,
They said his
yeah.
they said his skin is so swarthy it looked like the clouds in the sky when it's ready to storm.
But
You
most of the
understand?
enlightened ones of the ages look like us. I mean, they will write us out of being the master teachers of those times. Christ, Buddha, Muhammad, they will write us. I don't know about Muhammad. I think Muhammad was an Arab. I think he was pale skinned. But, they will write us out of being the master teacher when our time was come to enlighten the ages. It's crazy. So they done made him blue. All right. So he's the master teacher. He's the man on the scene. So he's the brother he reincarnates. And he came back as
I
Krishna. Now
gotta
let me
find a
ask you
picture of
this.
Brahma because let me see if I can find a picture of Brahma because I had so many pictures because you had so many questions. I couldn't fit it in the overlays because other people got overlays on the channel. So forgive me for my unpreparedness. But another deity is Brahma. I'm gonna get that picture right now on my phone. But he got three heads, and I'm gonna post him in a second because I'm gonna have to delete another picture. I'm gonna sacrifice another picture, and then I have to look it up later. But
Okay.
it's three main gods, and of course you know Shiva. That's this one.
Mm.
Hold on. He he appears with his wife Shakti. So he is the balance of feminine and masculine. You feel what I'm saying? He looks
Mm.
similar to her.
Mm.
Let me post. So yeah, what else? What else? What else? So those are three, and they keep reincarnating. I don't know. The other gods and goddesses, they probably keep reincarnating. I don't really know if they just keep reincarnating, but that's what it seemed like from my studies. It's so many. But you wanted to know more about who else? Who else? Who else? Who else? I'm trying to think. This is
I
Brahma.
remember I asked you. Let me see. I remember I asked you broke it down a little bit today, and you said his name. I want to say Vishnu. With
Vishnu.
that, yeah, I think
Yes.
you went into a little bit of him today. I talked about now. That's Brahma's wife. You gonna pick up now? She looks now. Who is that? No, that's back to that's my boy again.
Wait, which one you got a question about?
I mean, we just rapping as we come across them. This is what I want to know though. Um, Now the dudes at the airport, and this I'm not trying to be funny. The ones that be banging on the tambourines with the Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, is that's related to any of this? Well, it has to be. They essentially
Yeah,
hailing
like he's
Krishna,
he's
right?
the
So,
reincarnation of Krishna, the
so
protector.
what's with that? Is that a form, a mode of expression in the religious sense of that? When they out there, you know who I'm talking about? Them dudes would be like,
Yeah,
Hare
like
Krishna. Yeah.
you won't find a lot of people who just worship Vishnu on their own, on his
Mm-hmm.
own. Excuse me. They mostly just worship that reincarnation, or they deal with him. But here's what I
Mm-hmm.
really want to post. This is
Okay.
Krishna, so you can see what he looked like, and that's his wife,
Uh,
Lakshmi or Radha, when he reincarnated. And the purpose of him reincarnating was things was out of control on Earth, and he was supposed to restore balance and kill a whole bunch of demons, and he sacrificed himself for humanity and shit like that. It's the same story as Jesus.
mm-hmm.
He even
Mm-hmm.
the only difference is he died on a tree. Somebody killed him with an arrow. You feel me? So
Yeah. I wonder why that is that common theme. Some Trevor said out there. It says he seems
he
like
died
all
at the
these
same
religions.
age too.
Right. He says
33.
Trevor says it seems like all these religions just copycat off one another. Why is that a recurring theme? I mean, you will find, and there's some facts to that we think that there seems to always be a theme. You find the same theme going throughout the religiosity. Is it by design, or is it supposed to be some divine moral message that should be spread out to humanity? I don't know. I'm just throwing something out there. I mean,
I know
like,
it's supposed to be spread out to humanity because we didn't even expect this much a surplus of people to be on the planet. And think about if it's more than enough deities in the Hindu faith to go around for everybody. You feel what I'm saying?
well, you think Hindi should be? You think that Hinduism should be a thing that's spread out throughout the planet?
Hell no.
Oh,
I
you
think
have.
whoever path, I think the path that the spiritual path that people choose is the spiritual path that they supposed to be on.
Mm-hmm.
If
Mm-hmm.
it elevates them in any type of way, sort of shape or fashion, as
That's
long as they don't get rid of, like, need for, fighting against whatever oppression they're facing, because it seems like,
right.
you know
Right.
every
But
race, every country have something that they're fighting against. As long as you don't lose
absolutely.
that. And I feel like people in certain cultures, they let the government take over and just keep praying and praying and praying. It's just like, you're bruh, like, y'all better in numbers. Fuck the religion and overtake y'all government because
Mm-hmm.
y'all poor, y'all
Mm-hmm.
don't have no rights and shit like that. Kind of like what's going on with black people.
Mm-hmm.
And the same thing is happening to the Indians. So they getting theirs. I remember one day the day, right? It was this white lady.
Mm-hmm.
This is when I first had went to the temple. And I just wanted to learn everything or whatever. I still had fun, even though I didn't like how they was all bowing down to Srila Prabhupada. But it was this white lady when we was doing this Vedic study or whatever. I guess you want to call it the quote unquote Bible study. But we was reading from the Bhagavad
Right.
Gita, which is
Mm-hmm.
a section of the Vedas or whatever, because it's a lot of them. It's so many stories. That's why I said which one, which one.
Right.
It's all confused.
Right.
But so this lady, this white lady came in there. You could tell she had all this money and shit, and she was like,
Mm-hmm.
"Oh my God!" She said,
what about if we go to India? She said, will we become enlightened if I go to India? And so the Indian woman looked at her. This is the lady who ran a temple. She said, let me explain something to you. She said, you can go to India. And she said, you can become enlightened. She said, I'm not going to lie to you. It's a lot of gurus there. She said, or you can go to India and you can see people dying on the street and it can depress you for your whole entire stay. What are you talking about? She said, it's all types of people romanticize India just because, that's the birth of Hinduism. She said, but that's not going to make you happy. She said, you more lucky to be where you at right here. You have a better opportunity. She said, Indians try to come to America.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. That's what I think that we fail to really grasp. That's why I'm glad, and thank you for answering that question. I think you answered beautifully. Like when you said, "Yeah, I understand now what you said. What should be exported throughout humanity is the same moral theme that you seem to find in every air quotes brothers and sisters religion, or I call spiritual systems to open unlock certain spiritual treasures waiting on you. But yeah, if it doesn't, the measure of it, I think we have the measure of it. To me, is all about life. Life is the key. The universe is life, and so if it doesn't enhance life, if it doesn't make life better, not just for myself and my children, but for those who come in contact with me. I am a communalist. I believe that, I believe in life so much that we should sprout life. So our language should be life giving. Our aid to one another should be that which helps a person to enhance their quality of life, even if it's just by information or a smile or a good damn word.
Now, speaking of positivity, this is who I really wanted to share with you out of everybody.
Let me see.
This is my motherfucking nigga. What? I want this to be the
No, who
logo
is
to the
this?
arena. Hold on, let me take down somebody's comment because I want you to see what this nigga is doing. This nigga is killing a demon and he's ripping out his intestines out his motherfucking body because he's trying to save this prince that's meant to become king, and this demon was going to kill him. This is one of the reincarnations of Lord Vishnu, the protector.
Okay.
When I tell you this nigga is like if you listen to his stop ROMs, right? The protection that you get is unfucking matched. I have not listen. I've been working with Lord Vishnu for years, and it's very protective. Don't get me wrong. It removed, but like the auspiciousness that comes from this motherfucker
Yes.
is the
I
truth.
can see it
Like,
in the crown, man. Look at it. Yeah.
yo, I want this to be the logo to the arena. The auspiciousness of this nigga, it's unmatched. Like people, the respect that people show you when you listen to his prayers, the protection, the any heartbreak that you go through, it'll be removed immediately. Because usually I'm sensitive to some shit. Usually I'll be still going in for 40 days and 40 nights. His prayers heal me. His prayers, it's crazy because all right, when you exploring like different meditations on YouTube and shit, like sometimes a lot of Vedic chants will come up that it'll say, oh, this chant will remove negative energy. And so I heard about Lord Narasimha, but I didn't really know who he was. Cause I used to just, I mean, I never really care. I didn't really, it's so many Hindu gods. So I looked him up and then I was curious. So I just listened to the stop wrong, listened to the prayers. It was long as fuck, like 11 minutes. And everybody, like, it was like the reality shift is like ridiculous. People
What
give
do
you
you
free
mean?
shit, money.
Really?
Yes. People just treat you so like, yeah, I got like, especially if you listen to it all day. It's unmatched or whatever. I'm trying to learn it now. It's long as fuck though. It's long as fuck. That's the only thing that intimidates some people is that sometimes the chant is long. Like when I told you about Lord Krishna, his main chant is very good, but it's Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Rama, 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 Hare Hare. You know,
You
but
say it
his
fast. Say
wife,
it again.
huh?
Say it again.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Man, how long you been studying this? Oh,
About 10 years for real.
okay. Okay.
10 years
Wow.
on and
Okay.
off. Because for a while I didn't want
Respect.
to do it because I
Respect.
learned about all the racism and stuff like that, and it pissed me
Mm-hmm.
off. So I was trying to. I did try to do first just do my own little thing, like just stuff in general, like use chaos magic, and
Mm-hmm.
then I started trying to do voodoo, which didn't work out
Mm-hmm.
because, like I said, Papa Lexa knocked my ass out. Then I did some comedic science. Now I do like the comedic
Mm-hmm.
science, but it is too strict for me to do on it. Like, so I didn't choose to do that. You feel what I'm saying? I choose to go
Mm-hmm.
back to the Vedas because then I found out that it didn't really fucking matter. You feel what I'm saying? And nothing else worked
Mm-hmm.
for me. You know.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So
Man.
I, I felt better. Like sometimes you find out the grass isn't green on the other side. But I still
Yeah.
like chaos magic though. Like that's another
Yeah.
thing. Uh like when people be complaining about the tarot card readers, that's real because them tarot cards you lock into whatever whatever them cards say. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
It's just like the law of assumption. Like, you just assume that's going to be your life. And instead of changing it and moving to a different direction, people just get that so stuck in their consciousness. So, yeah.
Yeah, it's different. I have my sister used tarot, and I don't know. I'm not I've allowed her to have permission to some of my privy, and I've gotten a read from her. It was okay. I'm more partial to Odu, the way that my people read Odu and African Odu, and it's just not even how much the system that's used is just the way that the message is delivered. And I guess since I know I speak some of that science language, I understand what's being said. You know, I wanted to answer I want to give you give you an opportunity to answer Trevor's question. Do you see religion as a means to an end, like eternal life, or do you see it as just a way to get through life with no real reward at the end?
I
On
yeah, I
philosophical
don't see
shit.
it. I don't see it as no real reward. I just see it as a way to really get through life because life is hard. That's why I was
Uh,
trying to make a point to certain people like you're going to use what's at your fingertips. You're not going to use something
mm-hmm,
that you
mm-hmm,
completely don't know and whatever is there. Like I'm saying, like I'm telling no lie. Like Hinduism is very accessible. It's all over YouTube. You
mm-hmm,
know what I'm saying? And then all you gotta do is just look them up. But certain stuff, because there's so many gods and goddesses, you might not find the information on everything and everything being Sanskrit. But sometimes uh when you go deeper, these entities will start showing up in your dreams sometimes.
mm-hmm.
So it do get to be very fun, and then you do get to see like the other side and stuff like that. So I just say that
For
with a
me,
different life. Huh?
yeah. For me, I'm gonna be spooky. I'm gonna put my personal out there. I absolutely believe it as there's an end and a better end. I believe in this great big, you can call it a ball of energy, you can call it whatever you want to call it. My familiarity, my intimacy with it, how I grew up addressing this universe, this great ball of energy that cannot be destroyed is Allah. It's just familiar. I don't know. I know it has a lot of religious implications and connotations, and I know it has all this social, cultural, political meaning, especially the Arabization of. I understand all of that, but
You
I'm
don't
talking
believe
about when
we
the
asked
mind that,
God to be here?
huh? You
You
say
don't
what?
believe we asked God to be here like we was
No,
retarded?
I believe that God wanted to know itself. God loved itself. It wanted to know itself. So it began to create it. It created in the beginning. It created time. And then out of that time, it was like Allah says in the Quran, well, asr. I swear by time. God says, don't swear by nothing but God. What God is what asr. God is time. So it created itself in time. Then it began to create a form and it wanted to keep experiencing itself and loving itself and knowing its creation so much that it created a vessel to house itself in. And that vessel was us, you. I believe God created you just to experience itself. you aren't real. You're the shadow of God. God is the only thing that's real. And in the end, you're going to go back to that source. I believe heaven and hell is proximity to the source. I believe the closer you are to that source, that's what we call a heaven. And if the farther you are away from the original source is what could be considered a hell. I believe it's about connectivity. And, Tasawwuf, Sufism, the mystical language of Islam, it helps me to unlock that and to remember that in the teachings of the greats of the Sheikh, the Shuyukh, that gave us these sciences to unlock that. And being one who practices a very African, indigenous African to American religion I call hoodoo, then I love to hear the other sciences of Hinduism, this and that, because I added to my repertoire of already Ifa, voodoo, some of that, even some devilment. Shit, I got some devil in the veins, even some devilment. I'll look into some witchcraft books every now and then to satisfy that ancestry in me.
They laughed at me because I said something about Wicca, but I said at the end of the day, you might need something in English. You might need something in English.
Or you may have that Egun that you don't even know. That white man that snuck in the slave quarters or wherever they met, or they could have been whatever happened. And you got that, you know what I'm saying? You got that wild gene and you don't know why you got this devilment, this tingle. And Wicca could actually satisfy some of the science in that, could actually satisfy that. So there hence my advocacy of hoodoo. I call it indigenous African to here in America, sciences, hoodoo on the short. But no, I absolutely believe that it's about realizing, to me, the oneness of God, God in all things, that this is just an illusion. The truth is God. This is how I form and express it. And that's my form of heaven. When I say to talk to people who don't have belief in faith. So you can believe in religion, then you can believe in belief. I believe in belief. You know what I'm saying? So people who are so scientifical and need, how could this be? How that could be? Lakum dinukum waliyadin, to you be your way, to me be mine. My version of that is, how am I hurting you? Because I'm trying to watch my words, because I'm trying to be a good father, because I believe maybe, just maybe, if I wish and hope hard enough, there's a better place than this, and all of this shit wouldn't been in vain. How's that bothering you? Let me have that fantasy. Damn, can I believe you that told me Santa Claus ain't real? Why are you ruining my little bit of escapism? Because my little bit of fantasy don't got me with 4 or 5 followers over here kissing my ass and doing all kind of weirdo shit. My fantasy is to transform thy will be done on earth type shit. I'm a spiritual terraformer of the planet. I actually believe and pray that if I do enough good, maybe when these knuckleheads, not the people on my side trying to project good and positive, but maybe one of these knuckleheads might say, hey, you know what? Either there's something to it or he's a madman. Because I remember this nigga from back in the day, my daddy told me about this crazy man. And now he walking around hollering about, man, come on, brother, we can do it. Yay. Yeah, you are God. I don't care how you express that. Just be God-like. And God wouldn't be out here cursing women out, doing all this shit.
Spiritual system talks about how, in some way, shape, or form, some type of form of power from the Most High. I don't know. Like, people got to remember that, and almost every it almost say almost the same thing. All of them, like how Trevor said, it's really I don't see really no difference. Like that's why
a moral code.
Like I tell people, like, have you even looked up the actual laws to Satanism? Like how it's actually better than the laws in the Bible? Does it just say,
oh shit, now you scaring me. Oh Lord, now you scaring me. I didn't mean to unlock this. I didn't mean to open this door. Shit. You getting deep.
You said
I still don't fuck with that Joker. Satan.
No, I would never.
I don't fuck with him.
I don't do dark works. I only deal with the light.
Okay.
But I do study it. So I do know that it's not as spooky as what people think. It's not about harming kids. I mean, you do have some sects of Satanism who do harm kids, but I'm saying, when you look up the laws of Satanism, you'll be surprised to say, do not steal, do not irritate people, do not complain about your magic once you cast it, or that spell work will be put back on you. Do not harm little kids. Do not rape anybody. Whereas the Bible is sitting there like, oh, well, if you don't yell enough, you got to get stoned to death. Like, hold on, what's going on? What do you mean? Like, because I
You
couldn't get
wrong
saved,
for that.
I gotta die. Like, oh,
You
that's
are
what we doing.
terrible. You're terrible. That's
It
funny.
was like
Oh
when,
man, that's
like,
funny.
I'm just
That's funny. Uh-oh.
my fault. My kids acting bad. Hold on. You go
No,
ahead.
we keep it on like so. Oh man, that's funny. Yeah, man. What's up, man? Welcome. If y'all just what's up, Eric? Man, if y'all just jumping in, man, I'm up here with GTO, one of my favorite co-hosts. I enjoy doing shows with her. This shit will be all the way live. And we're talking about, and she's giving us some insights into Hinduism, and we're drifting here and there, and the importance of spiritualism in our life. Taking a few questions from the chat, which are heavy. And yeah, we
This is
dared to go there
Saraswati.
today.
I
That's
love her.
who?
That's Saraswati.
Who's
That's
that?
the goddess of knowledge.
Okay.
Yeah, she real deep. I like her, but she's good for brain power. Along with well, I use Ganesha for brain power too. The one with the elephant head.
Hmm.
He got good. Like Vedic knowledge is also good for brain power too.
Hmm.
Like
Now, do they
that's why.
have days of the week and stuff? Do they
Oh
have their
yes,
own
all of
special
them.
day?
But they most of the special numbers for a lot of the chants is 108 or anything that's in the rhythm melody of 8 because that's a lot of their favorite numbers. Not all of them. You gotta look them up individually, but for the most part, 8 is a good number because it's a number that represents infinity and stuff like that and manifestation. It's a lot of numbers that represent that, but they really like the number 8 or 108.
Mm,
It's a big
mm,
deal in Hinduism, like, but
yeah.
really in Buddhism too. You look up a lot of chants, they'll just say 108. That's like a power. Well, 108 is really like 9, which is also a number of that represents,
You is the number of what?
huh?
You said something. You kind of fade. 108 is it
It's
represent what?
9.
Nine.
Yeah,
Oh, nine. The number
yeah, the
nine.
number of
Yeah,
completion.
yeah, yeah. The number nine of completion. Yeah. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, yeah. Birth. I think guys don't get mad at me. What is number nine in the supreme mathematics? And you're born to
You
bring
said
into existence
feminine, 9 months.
nine feminine. Yeah, see, feminine. Nine
Yeah.
months. Yeah, and I think in the yeah, feminine. And
Oh,
I
I used
think
to
in
be a she
the
step. Don't get it started. Like I used to have on my uncle. I used to wear my uncle. Look, white people couldn't even look at me for too long without me wanting to slap the shit out of them. I used to cuss
man.
them out, all that. I used to be aggressive.
Oh man, Unc was my man. I go back with Unc. Unc is the only one. Unc had you on some different shit. I met Unc on some atheist shit, and he was spitting comedic knowledge. I was a Muslim. He had me spitting shit from the Bible. We
No,
was
I'm
working.
talking
He was
about.
like,
Don't you know?
Yango,
No, don't you know the whole set
read.
that the unk had on? That's why I say I put my unk up, like the unk, like the
Yeah.
actual unk.
Okay. Man, shouts out to my boy, man. I could care. Nah, this is some good knowledge that you dropping and spitting. But I'm curious though. I do want to revisit something. So you don't believe like in a version of a heaven or anything? We ain't gotta be scared to talk about it, man.
I
Fuck
do
them
know. I
suckers who
do
don't.
believe in
This
a
is
version of a
today.
heaven, but I
Hold.
believe
You know
that we
what?
was the
Today, this
God
is for the
person.
people of faith, man. Screw them suckers, man. Everybody, this for us, man. We having our little day, our little conversation. So if you believe in a heaven, if you all that, man, jump in the chat, do how you do. You know what I'm saying? We having our day. We'll come back and defend it later on, or we'll pretend we didn't
No,
say
but
it
look,
another time.
this
What?
is what I believe. I believe we asked God to be here. I believe that we was stupid as fuck. Like I believe we was in heaven and like so I do believe in a heaven. I believe we go back, for the most part if we was good people. But I believe like if you took it too far, you hurt kids because there is a hell in Hinduism, but it's not what people think. It's not really eternal so much. It's more so like
Mm-hmm.
the concept of hell being eternal is kind of like parallel to how we view time on earth. Like let's say you have sex with a woman, that time when it's real good, that time could pass just like that, you know. But if you're going through a hellish time, it could go by very slow, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So that's how it is when people that's bad go to hell. It's just seem like an eternity because the amount of pain that you go through going through that fire, you know, but it's
Mm-hmm.
really not an eternity because, you know, like I said, it's very merciful how they view that as well, you know. Like I don't
Mm-hmm.
necessarily even believe in reincarnation, which is another aspect to Hinduism. Like it gets deep, the
Mm-hmm.
afterlife. It's many aspects to the afterlife even in, you know, Hinduism. But what you wanted to say, Solar came up here. Oh shit.
What's
Uh,
going on, Commissioner?
hey, what's going on? What's
Peace.
going on?
What's going on,
Uh,
man? Peace, man.
chilling, chilling. You know, I'm just trying to take in the conversation. Just kind of came in on the tail end of it. Y'all was talking about
We
you
just
know,
talking about metaphysics and like
Yeah.
just deep spiritual knowledge. We getting spooky up here.
Yeah,
It's
man.
spooky.
To get you, spooky alert. We getting spooky, but I mean, and we bringing in, we're open. It's open discussion as long as you know how the arena do. As long as it's respectful, this and that. It can get hot. The exchange can get hot. It's an open discussion. We just having a discussion and answering questions, and we got GTO up and doing our little thing and our various whatever. But yeah, man, it's open discussion, honest topic. I see MD has awakened. MD carry a big stick. You
Where
yeah.
gotta
the
watch
action at? Because I
MD.
want him to see. I want him to ask him about could this be the new logo for the arena.
Son, you heard, man. Jump up here, baby. If you out there, if you had the time.
What you think, Solar? You think this should be
That's definitely a cool. That would be a cool logo, I would say.
that's Lord Narasima
Mm-hmm.
from the Hindu
Um,
faith, ripping out
yeah,
the intestines of the
you say
demon.
you were saying that you don't believe in reincarnation.
Yeah, like it just I kind of do, but then I don't. I believe in it. I believe in it in the sense of if we want to come back when we go to our spirit form. That's the only thing that makes sense to
Mm-hmm.
me. Like I believe that we just beings traveling through different dimensions, and I believe in parallel universes and shit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
I was looking at something not too long ago where it was talking about I guess it's like the trap soul theory or something like that, where it's saying that the souls are like reincarnated and their memory is taken away from them. It's like a
I've
process
heard
that
about that. I've heard about that.
these entities um, use humanity. They use humanity to take. They feed off the lower vibrations. So what they do when humans die, they reincarnate the spirit or the soul, and it's the process in itself takes away the memory of the actual spirit, so they don't really know
Wow.
that they're being like reincarnated. And this is like the demiurge and all that stuff that you read in the Gnostic Bible.
Mm-hmm.
Damn,
So
I didn't hear about that one.
yeah, yeah. So it's like uh, you can make some correlations to that in the the Iblis of the Quran. The jinn.
How, yeah, make that correlation. I'd like to hear that.
Well, like when you look at the characteristics of the demiurge, it's
Mm-hmm.
it feeds off the lower self. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
and when you read the story of the Iblis, he declares the war on humanity,
Mm-hmm.
and he says that he refuses to submit to the atom. Um, he vows to prevent Adam from becoming what God when Allah breathed the spirit into Adam. That's what the potential of what the Adam could become. So Iblis's job pretty much is to prevent Adam from getting to that state. So he lays in wait, um, as what he says in the Quran. Give me respite until the day they are raised. So he has an incentive to keep humanity catering to the lower self, and he wants to prevent them from raising up to this level where the frequency is so high that it kind of supersedes the matrix that he created to keep humanity in.
So
So
let me find out you got a little kufiya and prayer rug in your closet.
man,
So
actually,
that's
Damn, that's
so
deep. I fuck
damn,
with
so
that. Yes.
damn,
Solar right on
damn,
it.
solar.
Damn.
Ooh.
Solomon was given to me. That's not a name that I created for myself. Is the reason why I studied Islam for over 10 years, man.
Hey man. Hey man. Damn, okay. Okay. Whole new profound respect for Kamish.
Right.
Yeah, that's studied and thought out, brother. That's okay.
I should have
Wow.
had my notes on that one. Hold on.
Yep, damn, I got quiet. Solo dropped the mic on that. Yeah,
Yeah.
damn, okay, brother. All right,
They
we
was
listen.
taking
My
some of
bad,
that.
man. We had you just
I know, no,
shocked us with that one, man.
I'm,
Yeah.
I'm, uh, I'm actually looking for something to eat. So I thought this burger spot that I usually go to is closed. So I'm definitely looking for something.
Now you're looking
So
for some
I mean, y'all can
halal.
go ahead and
But you right around looking for the halal now. You see, you
the
this
halal.
nigga he done put on his fez. God damn. Okay, man. Hey,
Let's do the
man.
first one. I got the first one.
You got the fez on.
The
Shit,
jalapenos.
shit. The jalapeno. The sheikh. I'm a sheikh. Damn. All right, man. I'm impressed. Yo,
The
y'all heard
MD
it
that you
here.
want disabled.
Yeah, MD. Is he up?
Peace, can you hear me?
Yeah,
Peace,
we
man.
can.
What's good, brother?
No,
Hey,
I'm
hold
just
on. Do I
checking
need to
in,
grab
man.
my hard hat? Let me grab my helmet.
No, you good. Nah, peace. I was just checking in. It's actually a great discussion. I definitely revere some of the tenets of Hinduism. Like, I can see where it's a good lifting mechanism in which to live off of, but you cannot deny and you cannot get away from Hinduism being one of the earliest forms of socio-political discrimination in the world.
In the
Mhm.
world,
In the
Craig.
world. In
I ain't
the
never
world.
heard of that. Damn. He said in the world. Come on, MD. Give it to us. Because MD smarter than that.
And this goes to your point, Yanga,
Mm-hmm.
from a socialistic mindset, creating a form of socio-political work standpoints that you base the people off of. And of course, with that being said, you got to have somebody on the low totem pole.
Yep.
And those are them Dalits. The untouchables is what they call them.
Yep.
I've heard of them. What makes them untouchable? What would make you in that class?
You talking about the
Is it purely
Dravidians, right?
race?
I mean, yeah. Mostly they are the Dravidians. They call them Deletes.
Mm.
And from a social class, they're the lowest of the low. For what reason, I couldn't tell you because I don't go that deep. But we do know, based off of the caste system in Hinduism, that each caste system has their roles of importance within the actual social system itself. Now, the Deletes, those are the people that deal with the waste, deal with the dead bodies, and this is the form of socialism that you can't really get away from. Hey, cut that down. So when we're talking about building a form of socialism based off of a set group of people, that's where I can say, I can't go. And this is a perfect example. You're going to base my social political importance in the world based off of what I do, and then tell me from a religious aspect, if I do good in the world now, in the next life, maybe I can bump up a caste. That's bullshit.
Damn. Wow.
So this is where religion takes hold of a socio-political dynamic that I can't get with.
Yeah.
It's cool. It's cool to recognize the principles within the religion. I ain't saying there's no problem with that. And from the dynamic that we live in today, that's personal. That's not social.
Mm-hmm.
So what the elites did, they created a political organization that taught that based off of their social caste system. They call them the Delete Panthers. They based it off the dynamic
Wow.
of the Black Panther.
Wow. Wow.
Wow.
Damn.
So
Okay.
in the world that we live in today, with an ever evolving social dynamic, you're not going to be able to tell a group of people that I'm locked into this position and I have no way to get out until I die.
Yeah.
Right.
That's the white
That's
man
why I
religion
don't fuck with it.
within its
Right.
form. Right.
Absolutely.
But that's all I have.
Absolutely.
You know, I
And
can't explain that.
that's what keeps them so docile, because they expecting to just reincarnate out that position, when even if these prayers is supposed to remove the karma and you did go into that belief, it still is double talk, because it's just like y'all if y'all shun these people from the temples and all that other shit, they can't even get the knowledge to even spiritually get out that caste system.
But
Right,
now,
right.
exactly. Now let me ask this, because here's it. This question is going to set the stage for the next question. So is this written in the religion? Like, I mean, when the religion was founded, was this a condition of it? Was this brought divine preaching that you are this caste, that caste, or is this something introduced later on? Does anyone know?
Well, we know, just like any other religion in the world, we know that commentaries are scribed, right? Just like you got your hadith in Islam, just like you got your
Right.
your Jewish commentaries, and it's all commentary. It's all somebody's interpretation of a set religion and basing it on a social political level. That's any religion in the world.
And
So
it's so many Vedas. It's so many Vedas, and it goes so deep. You can keep lying to the people, and just it's kind of like the Bible, like how we said on my other stream when we was talking a bit, how the Bible sprung off so many different sects of their own from so many different scriptures.
Right.
It's kind of like that whole situation.
And you got to remember, you got the seats. Go ahead.
Yeah. Now I'm gonna play the devil. So okay, if this is their religion, this how they get to heaven. You know what I'm saying? Hey man, why you messing with them? What if someone threw that argument on it? I mean, like, you know, it's like in Saudi Arabia when they make their women cover all up, or one of these other crazy, I ain't even gonna call them crazy, these other crazy ass Islamic countries that make their women cover all up, and they say, hey, this is our religion, this is how they get to heaven. Why are you coming to, how dare you come and put your cultural standards, because you let your women wear bikinis and twerk it and bust it open, shout it. How dare you come put your cultural standards on us in the skies of freedom? But this is how they get to heaven. All the dialects, all these little nappy, woolly head Indian people got to bury the bodies and shovel the shit so they can be a next caste in the next life. What if they tell you religiously interfering?
Oh, me?
Or any of us. Like, I mean, like, you know.
I will tell you this too, right? It's weird that you say that, because even though they act like that, when I had first came into this knowledge, I had one friend with a lot of followers on Twitter and YouTube. And I would mention his name in the temples, and automatically they start respecting me because this black man. I mean, he rung bells. I mean, I feel like I should never have done that, but you find what I'm saying? Because they was acting ignorant at first, because that was an outside black person. Like, who is this? And in conversation, I was like, well, what about Bhakti Caprice? Do y'all know him? They was like, Bhakti's Caprice, you know, Caprice. They was going in.
See, that's what I hate about them. That's what I hate about them. Like, they don't accept you until you have, and this is my argument where I get with, you know, the Inyames and even some of what Darkseid's saying and all, because that's my argument. That's why I don't like the
damn temple no more. Fuck them.
Bro, I mean, like anywhere, the masjid, I don't care where you go, that the science has come out of their so-called culture. They are so fucking arrogant. Like, they don't, you can walk into a masjid, you know what I'm saying? And they look at you like that. You know, they look at me, you know, I got the locks and stuff, and I walk in the masjid, but once they feel comfortable with my Arabization, you know, if they come, well, and I said, well, Sheikh Nasruddin Albani rahimahullah ta'ala said, you know, you got to go into the Arabic and you got to start justifying yourself and really letting them know how Arabized you become before they have a fucking conversation. Fuck y'all. That's what I get on that
Yeah.
shit.
Exactly. I
Fuck
used to
your
go in there.
Islam.
That
I
goes
used
You know
to
what I'm
to
go
saying?
that
in
Like
there
goes
I
and
to
would
a
look
go in
at
there,
cohesion.
they
I would
food.
go in a store, and my father, my father accepted Islam when I was 2. So I basically that's all I knew. So my name got changed real quick. I became Ibrahim. Ibrahim ibn Abdul Qahar. And so growing up in Cleveland, fuck with my father, I would hate going into a store and they would hear him call me or something, or one of my boys be like, Ibrahim, something in Cleveland, and there's Arab behind the counter, oh, you have my name. Oh, you have my name. No, motherfucker. I got the name
That's
my
how they
father
do with
gave me.
my
That's fine.
with my
Oh, I can't stand that
oldest
shit.
Krishna. That's what they do with my oldest Krishna. His middle name is Krishna.
See,
So they, so they be
see,
looking like, oh, you Krishna too? Yes, he Krishna too. First time I brought him to the temple, that was only because anytime I used to go to the temple anyway, I used to know that they had to feed me food. You gotta give me
yeah,
food, motherfucker.
yeah,
You gotta
yeah.
feed me food, or you
You
going
gotta
like you
feed.
going to hell. Okay,
Okay.
Krishna or you. Well, that's what that's they mostly believe in because they know they're not supposed to be discriminating like that. They would get mad because I would walk right the fuck upstairs to get my food. Give me my
Yeah.
food. Prasado.
Right, right. When you know now that is the benefits. When you know the little insights, you get a little something out. They cultured in. If you say a little
They
cold
feed the
word, it
homeless
is that
people. They do
they
do that.
can't
They feed
they
the
can't deny you. Right.
yeah.
Wonderful. Let me answer that question that Eric Bond put up there. He said in some of these nations there are religious police. Absolutely, in a lot of these theocracies, these Islamic theocracies, they call them the mutawa. And that's another reason I couldn't advocate living under that type of culture. Because these guys, if I have seen videos, if you out there with your wife and her hijab, mainly in Afghanistan, and they don't even wear hijab, they wear bukra. They wear the whole damn thing. They bukra it out. They got net where the eyes is. And I've seen these mutawa, man walking with his wife, the sister's bukra is on crooked, and the Mutawa got a bamboo boat hitting this man's wife. There is no religion, there's no spiritual authority in the world that could give you permission to strike my wife when I'm with her. You got to bring Allah down, Jesus,
That's
Muhammad,
how it is
Buddha,
in
all
Hindu.
at the
That's how
same
it is
time.
in Hindu
Man, you
culture too.
crazy as
even
hell.
though even though there's so many goddesses that's worshipped, the men is actually strangely very misogynistic. And
See?
they'll kiss each other in the mouth and all this other shit. They gay as fuck, but they
Yeah,
hold
yeah,
hands.
that's more of a cultural thing right there. You know what I mean? You
But
can
they
Yeah.
see
but
like,
they still misogynistic though, and I be looking like, but y'all kissing in the mouth, but you gonna treat your women like that? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
you see
Mm-hmm.
that the Arabs, even when they was in the time of ignorance, that they still would have
Mm-hmm.
these certain customs on how the women would dress. So that would be more of a cultural thing, like, and exactly how they dress. I think the Islam, it has stipulations and rules on how a woman should dress, but not exactly what she's wearing. So you have to cover the
Right.
head and whatever. So, it may vary from let's say like you said, Afghanistan or Pakistan, whereas though they have a certain customs on what exactly they wear to cover up, as opposed to
See, sir.
maybe West Africa where they have more like a head
Right.
wrap and different type of
Right.
things.
Right.
But
And
but
it
yeah,
goes into your teachers. And I think that what we look at, that's here to me, is knowing the difference between spirituality and religiosity, because it's about your teachers, and a lot of teachers were sanctioned by the government. Black Sun talks about it all the time, how in a lot of these countries the government owns the religion, are behind the cleric, and so the religion is going to change to be favorable to the government. So you're going to see a lot of, that's where you see the shifts at. I'm of the opinion, does a woman have to cover at all? I think in certain verses said it's not your covering that matters, but righteousness shall be your covering. So it depends what teacher, social, culture, political climate. This is why I always advocate for us as Black people over here, using them as sciences for the best interest of Black people. If this is your science, to keep calm, not pull the pistol and shoot that black man. If you
Yes.
say, for real, if you say, what would Jesus do? Would Jesus kill this nigga? would Jesus get this nigga a pass? If it's gonna keep you from murdering a black man, doing some what we would call ungodly shit,
Well,
then
shit,
hey
and
man,
what people have to understand, it might keep them from killing
WWJD.
themselves. It might keep them from. It's a lot of black people nowadays
Absolutely.
too.
Absolutely. I think it's when we bring so much neo-colonialism to our religion, the need that HNIC, the need to be the head nigga in charge, the need for it to be a supremacy, the need to belong to an elite group, to be the righteous versus the unrighteous, that we find enemies where they're not even enemies.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
That's
We find enemies where there isn't an enemy.
You make an enemy out of somebody.
Right.
You willing to burn bridges while you standing on them, and that's not what black unity is. But you hollering about it though. Sit your punk ass down. Sit your punk ass down because
if you're not about this, and a lot of sciences get you there. You know, like you said, you know, like I can hear Solar talking. I can tell that he's versed in classical or what they would call Orthodox Islam, but I can hear a lot of that black Islam in him too. And what I call black Islam is Elijah Muhammad, some Clarence 13X. I hear him doing sciences. You know, he spit classical scripture from Quran, but then how he was talking about the lower frequencies. But ain't no Arab in the world talking about lower frequencies. They be like, this is a shaitan. They ain't spitting like Solar spit. He get the feds, man. He get the feds. So that's what I'm talking about, like a science, like you spitting is Hinduism. There's not someone that adheres to the religion of Hinduism and has indoctrinated themselves. And a lot of the indoctrination means you do have to embrace some of the cultural aspects and perspectives of the religion that will break down what you're breaking down in a language that we can understand and say, hey, yeah, this can unlock the science. Don't fuck with that because it makes you feel this way. And this has the potential to do this and that. So I appreciate it. Look, I done got long-winded, man. I'm going to let us have some last words in because we start wrapping up. And appreciate, man, shouts out to the chat. I appreciate y'all riding with us. Solo jumping up here, riding out. That's what's up.
We on fire right now. We putting out the content. We don't got time to be bitter and stuff like that.
Yeah, I would say, you know, like with the various philosophies and religions that the panel has knowledge on, you know, it was like when I was going into this, you know, I got like, you know, I went into kind of deep into you know, the ancient Egyptian religions, and you know, I was reading on it. Never practiced it, but I read a lot. You know, it's like the works of Alvin Boyd, Gerald Mancy, and I was kind of bought those books, Natural Genesis, and all that. I was going into them, and what you would see is that it was a theory. I think Yoke and Big Yak and it kind of was hinting upon it, and I think Bobby Hennett pushed it a lot. That Egypt was kind of like, you know, the origins. It was like a priesthood that went out into these different areas and kind of integrated themselves into that particular society and the culture that they went to. They kind of developed a religion to civilize the group of people that they engaged. So what they did to prove the theory was they would take like what's the goddess of Hindu, is it Shiva or is that
the Shakti?
Shakti. Yeah, they would take the goddess, the feminine goddess, and they would make correlations like to Isis. So he would say pretty much this is just another form of ISIS worship. They just like adjusted the name to that particular culture and group of people.
It is.
Yeah, to me, that's supremacy. You could say Isis worship, or you could say the energy of the divine mothers. You know, I think when you take the science, I think when you say Isis worship or Virgin Mary worship or I think there's a certain energy that has manifested through different systems, and these systems have grown out of relation to, like I said, our social, political, cultural influences. Yet it's still an attempt to reconnect to that same divine feminine energy, Isis, Aphrodite, whatever, you know, that type of thing. So that's just my take. I wanted to say this real quick though, and I'm gonna be quiet because I've been going at it. Trevor said something funny, had me laughing. He said, was that use of the word nigga a term of endearment? I can't remember when I used it, but probably not. It probably meant, because when I call somebody my nigga or that nigga, it means they're taking a less than orthodox route. If I call Solar my nigga, if I was like, yeah, this nigga, because he took classical orthodox religious scriptures from the Quran and did some cunning there's no way, no sheikh or no holy man going to talk about no Arab one anyway that I've run across, maybe some new age stuff that are talking about the lower vibration. He built that maybe from his own, maybe he was building with some brothers that contributed to that. I can sense and feel the purely relatability to us, and it's less than the orthodox teaching. So I don't know if
the sister, not to cut you off, brother, but it's a sister that wrote this book. You know, Amira El Zine, and she wrote the I think it's the something of the jinn. You know, and she made that correlation of the jinn. That's kind of where I got that from. It was a sister that wrote this book, where she was kind of explaining those things. Yeah,
put that in the chat too. Put that in the chat. Put them. You come up here and spend them resources. You know, them sources. Put that in the chat. So that's what I mean. It's nigga to me. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if term of endearment, so I don't try to push it when we use it to one another. And I'm not going to turn this into that show. When we use it on one another, it's a term of endearment. It means he was crafty. He was wily. He thought outside of the conventional box. He broke the system. You know what I'm saying? Now, that's what nigga means, whether you use that good or bad. Like I said, all of us got a nigga moment.
I remember a term of endearment.
Huh?
You used it as a term of endearment.
I don't know about endearment. Maybe more admiration or swift. Like, damn, that's swift. That's you know what I'm saying? That's my thing with nigga. I'm like, that was slick. That wasn't no traditional orthodox thing. You know what I'm saying? My term of endearment. Well, I guess I got to look up endearment, but my term of endearment. No. He was crafty. Was that not slick? I ain't broken it down. And the sister broke it. That was crafty. Y'all need to concede. Y'all have to elevate your mind. Stop trying to keep nigger in our definition of advanced African in America. We're gonna have to make the distinction, brothers and sisters.
Hold on, get your boy, MD.
What God would do that? What God is the God of distinction? This book stuff. What God is the God of distinction? You know what I'm saying?
So you put mine in front of it is better. That's what we going to do. Just say
my
that.
Nigga.
Yeah.
My nigga. If that's a term of endearment, that's going to be a whole other discussion. For me, I don't knock it. I'm not saying it.
I got something I want to send to you. And it's funny that you're talking about the Asian religions. I got to send you something, and maybe it's on YouTube. It was and I don't really believe this, but it was somebody that did a documentary on the niggas. I think it's that. I don't know if that's Buddhism, where it said the niggas.
It's part of Hinduism because
so they saying that the niggas were these. Once again, that's going back into that theory that I was just talking about like these Africans that kind of went into these different areas. They saying that the niggas was this priesthood that went amongst, went into Asia, and they had like these statues and these kind of monuments that, according to him, is foretelling what was going to happen to us during the transatlantic slave trade. And so it's a book that he actually wrote on this, but the documentary that he did explaining his book, I believe it's on YouTube. I got the DVD of it, but I think I seen it on YouTube, but I gotta remember the name. And
please put it up because that sounds familiar.
I always laugh in the beginning because he was like, the niggas. The niggas.
Yo, that's deep hotel knowledge right there.
Was he one of them British, one of those British reporters?
No, it's a regular black dude. No, I can't see
I'm
regular
ready to
black.
pull
There's
up
an
the picture of the
American, African
knockoffs. Hold on.
American. There's an
Okay.
African American brother. He's like, yeah, the niggas in Asia, the niggas.
You say he's a regular black dude. What do you want to say? He's a nigga. No,
Yeah.
the
No,
niggas. The niggas.
I think
Yeah,
that's offensive to say a regular black dude because I'm referring to African Americans as if
right.
they're
Yeah.
not regular black dudes in Britain and the Caribbean.
Right. Damn,
But
that's
like
deep. Right.
so like yeah, that would be like I think it's African presence in Asia. I think it's called the African presence in Asia. Let me see if that's on
My
YouTube.
computer being so damn slow. Yeah, my computer was being slow. I was going to say, I looked it up and a whole bunch of African looking Asian people came up. What the hell? I'm like, what? I'm like, this all I had to type in all this time? Thank you. The hell looking like African people. What the?
Okay, man. Shit, that's funny. Listen, I gotta wind up because we still got other things to do, other things happening. I do anyway. And man, I enjoy this so much. We'll be on forever. And I know you're gonna probably end up doing something later tonight, huh?
I got to now because I got something else to research now because I thought it was just
Here you go, right? I found it. I found this joint. Here you go, right here. I'm a well, I can show y'all how it looks. See it right there? Is this is the joint because I know it because it's about like an hour and 46 minutes long. And yeah, this is it right there. Yeah, that's it right there.
Okay.
And it gets into that whole thing, and yeah, it's funny as hell.
I'm gonna watch that. What's the title of it? Peace, Eric. I'm gonna get you that wrench too, bro. Appreciate you following through, man. Supporting the channel.
Yeah,
That's
just
what's
type
up.
in
Welcome to Team Arena, baby. Welcome to Team Arena.
Say it on your
Well,
community tab, Solar.
yeah,
Solar, you
okay.
gotta get your community tab popping, by the way. Your community tab dry. All you gotta do is push share. You slacking.
Okay, I got you. Yeah, I got you. Yeah, I need to get active on that thing. Africans in Asia is what it's called. If you want to see the documentary, it's a couple of joints that popped up with Renoko Rashidi. I'm pretty much sure that he's on the same type of note. But if you want to see the one I was just talking about, it's Africans in Asia, and then there's another one. It's probably the same one. Ancient Africans in Asia. So I think pretty sure that that's the same one. But yeah, you could check that out. But it's very interesting because like the way he explained it, well, I don't know if it's true or not, but he explained it looks like it's like people took it in chains and the whole thing. He's saying that that's like what they put up because they kind of was able to see what was going to happen with African peoples in the future. So we know that this was
damn, that's heavy.
constructed when they constructed it. This was way before the slave trade. They know for a fact that when this got put up, this was way before, hundreds of years before the slave trade. The transatlantic slave trade. But the way when you look at it and the way he explained it, it was like these foreign people coming in, taking these people by chains and then have them working. It's deep. It's deep when you look at it. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, you check that joint out.
I'm gonna check that out.
Can't wait.
Yeah.
Yeah, and definitely get your community wall popping. I be sharing shit like crazy. I'm more active on my community wall than I am on these lives. But
Community wall crazy, man. Are we good? This shit is off there.
You got one, Yanga. You need to use yours.
Man, I'm just getting used to all of this stuff, man. I would look out pop up.
You get subscribers from just using your community wall now.
Man.
Trust me,
Okay.
people.
I'm gonna listen. I'm gonna let you put me in the game. You need to jump into the. You need to. Somehow. I don't know. We'll talk. Yeah. We'll. Yeah. You'll walk me through that. Solar definitely shouts out to because I'm gonna get off here. Shouts out to our commissioner, Solar Mind, man. SVDL Debate League, the only motherfucking league. Definitely, always I gotta make that scream that out because that's where you're gonna get the heat at. I'm gonna get with you, Solar, man. Get my debate set up. Shout out to the debaters. We looking forward to the debates, hot debates. Son, talking cash shit today, man. I don't know about the debate of the year. I believe Rio and I is going to be the top billing. I believe that's what everybody's going to want to see. I believe that's what's going to end up happening in the playoffs. So I don't know about debate of the year, but I'm looking forward to y'all debate. Check us out on SVDL. Shouts out to everybody with that. GTO.
Y'all need to debate each other.
I'm finna go.
Solo, will that ever happen?
Man, I'm not debating Solar. Solar gets his little
No,
shots
not
in
Solo. I'm talking about
on the
you and
Hucklebuck.
Black Sun.
Me and the
What
Black
was
Sun.
that? What was that guy asking me?
Y'all gonna have to, ain't they gonna have to debate eventually, Yanga and Black Sun?
We might. If Black Sun beats all his beat the right amount of people you got to beat to see me, Black Sun might see me. Y'all might get a clash of the Titans. Y'all just might get that. You know what I'm saying? We'll see.
I want to see
Black
that.
Sun got to go through some. Black Sun got some opponents. I got some opponents, man. I got Blue coming up. He got Rio. We got, we may see it, but if we keep gobbling like we gobbling, y'all may get to see a clash of the Titans. We may pay per view that shit. I don't know, man. Y'all might have to attach a ticket to that. Is that the Executioner MD? Yeah, it is. I don't have my glasses on. I
Where
smell
your
blood
glasses
on this
at? Your
sword.
vision is not that bad.
It is. It's terrible.
How old
You
is
stop
you?
the flattery. I'm old as shit. I'm old, man.
You don't want to say your age? Is
He
that
said,
bad?
no, I'm
You
50.
70?
I'm
Oh,
50.
I'm
I'm
fucking
50. No, listen,
70
I'm
just a
proud of it. I
fucking-
wear it proudly. Man. I'm from an era to get to 50 is an accomplishment in itself. Trevor, ain't nobody overlooked the rookie. You gotta put somebody on your plate, black man. How you want? Come on, Commissioner, get him. Solar, get this Solar jump on. He's still on. Get
Listen,
him,
I'm
man.
gonna
Talk to
view.
it.
I gotta
Hey,
view
him and
my.
Rio's gonna have a good debate.
What is their debate?
I don't know what the topic is, but it should be good with
That's just
both
gonna
of them
be
having a
fire.
Christian background. Yeah.
And both of them have a delivery. Trevor said, I don't snooze on you, Trevor. Like I said, I wouldn't debate him because Trevor has more good days than not. You know what I'm saying? So I wouldn't get in there and he have that good day, eat my ass up. He running around. I got Yanga. You know what I'm saying? And no, he got to have some bodies under his belt. So when I eat him, I can be like, yeah, I got Trevor. You ain't gonna KOT me. KOT got me. Shouts out to KOT. Where you at? KOT did get me. He got me out the fucking playoffs. I couldn't believe it. I beat him once, underestimated him in the playoffs, doing other shit. I'm like, okay, And KOT, this Negro, because I don't want to say nigga. Everybody thought, see, that's your best friend. You said nigga. That's your buddy. So, I ain't even gonna let y'all give me like that. This Negro fucks around, comes up with he got you see what his award, most improved debater. This Negro got movie clips and slides and shit.
That
And just
nigga was
straight,
not playing with you that debate,
man.
bro. That was
Solar.
a crazy one
God
right there,
damn,
bro.
did he
Yeah, he
step
got
his
that.
game
And
up?
he wasn't laughing, doing none of that type. He was serious on that joint. It was personal,
Man.
bro.
Man, it was real personal. He hurt my feelings. I almost hollered, fuck you, KOT. I did. I almost disqualified myself. Fuck you, nigga. Is that a term of endearment? Fuck you, nigga. Am I endeared now, nigga? Are we cool now, nigga? He hurt my goddamn feelings. He came so hard.
It came out in this stream. You got exposed real bad.
Oh, man. I mean, yeah, he tried my African. I was like, Jesus, black Jesus at that.
You said
Black Jesus?
black.
Oh,
You said Jesus
that
the
goes Trevor's
victorious Christ.
topic right there.
Let's see what they tell me. So, who has the bigger impact on hip hop, Jay-Z or Master P? Wow, hip hop culture. Wow,
Yeah.
wow.
That whole thing right there. See that whole thing
Oh,
right there.
Oh,
I see where that
because
I see where
Master
that boy
P,
going with that one.
Master P ain't paid for
I
that
think I do
$500
too.
dress
I
that
see where
his
that boy
mother was
going
supposed
there.
to be buried in. I'm still mad at him forever. Y'all ain't hear about that?
What did Master P do?
He ain't paid for that $500 dress that he was supposed to bury his mother in, and I forever hate him for that. I don't like him. That's how I
Damn.
knew he did Romeo wrong. Because I was like, all right, so even if you do feel like, all right, my family drained me financially all my life, all my rich life, you couldn't just do that for your mama. Like, Like just that one thing. Like, that's how I know, he really did Romeo wrong. So y'all can just throw that in there if y'all wanted to. Somebody can just, just to be petty.
Okay.
Just
You giving the man, stop feeding the debaters. No, that's going to
Yeah,
be a hell of
who
a
got
debate.
who?
I can't
Who
wait to
got what?
see that. I'm Team Arena all day, so I know Trevor gonna pull the win out. However, I'm gonna advise my boy because I'm being there rooting for Trevor and this and that. Rio is nothing to play with, and I'm sure you know it. Rio is gonna be bringing his A game. He's gonna be swinging. I can't. I am looking forward to Rio and I's debate, but at the same time, it has its trepidations. It has its. I'm like, okay. So, man, I'm looking forward to that. Look, man, I'm not going to keep hanging out with y'all. I'm trying to get off of here. Phone ringing and shit. People like, where you at? Look, love you guys. Appreciate y'all hanging out. GTO, thank you for letting me ride with you, man. Being silly with me. Appreciate the
It's fine.
giggles, yo. All day.
It's no problem.
Solar.
Yo.
Commish, man, I appreciate you, man. Executioner MD. Always, man. I love being on here with you. Appreciate you. Peace, peace, peace. Deacon, Twin, everybody in the arena, Team Arena. You know how we do. Shouts out to SVDL, the league, and I catch y'all on the flip, man. Peace.
No doubt.
Peace, yo. Is it gonna let me end the stream, my slow ass computer?